¿Qué onda, vatos locos? It's your boy Dave in the 702 coming at you for Tailgate Talk. Wednesday night, NFL week number 9. Joining me all the way from the city of brotherly love, Philly Eagles. Cry Eagles. Drew Evo sitting on top of the world, I bet. Yeah, blow a little smoke up your ass. But that was a close game. I don't know what's up with them Washington Commanders, Drew. They seem to have you guys as numbers. Why do they come so close to actually pulling off beating you guys? Why is it the Commanders? In the rematch, by the way.
I look at it like this. Eagles found a way not to lose games. And the thing about it is, I said during that whole game, I didn't like the defensive play calling that you gave up the underneath the whole game. And that's how they got most of the yards. They're going to move the ball. You're a bent, don't break defense. But we got to be able to do better. I understand that. We don't want to give up the big play, but we got to play better coverage and everything. He's got to call better coverages and everything. So now I think, we got a safety at the deadline. We got a safety before the deadline. We got an all-pro safety.
Right.
He didn't start, but he played a little bit. So he's going to start this game.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's better.
That's really interesting, Drew, because we spent a little bit of time last week talking about Drew gave out his predictions about people getting fired, coaches getting fired, and I was shocked. That this one came true mid-season. Right here in Las Vegas, Jimmy G's coach, the Las Vegas Raiders got rid of Josh McDaniels. Yeah, that is a big deal. Everyone in this town is talking about it, not necessarily for the best reasons. Jimmy G played as best as he could coming off of his concussion protocol that lasted weeks, it seemed, and still got sacked a record number of times, Drew. It's a hot mess over there at the Raiders organization, and I do hope that they could turn the ship around this week. They'll have their hands full. Definitely got their hands full. And like I said, Jimmy G needs some pass protection. Bro, they really do. But speaking of the 49ers, we had an embarrassing third loss in a row. And now it seems that all the pundits think that my guy Purdy, that the Cinderella story is over, that the glass slipper cracked, that it's now midnight. And we find ourselves in a position where he's making mistakes he never made before. He's throwing picks like Jimmy G. They're not protecting him as well as they should. And our defense is not putting these games away. I am so happy. Drew, we talked about the trade deadline. The 49ers are being said, they're saying, but we may have gotten one of the best trades at the last minute. I'm talking about former Ohio State defensive end Chase Young, that just played I think he played a pretty good game against your team, the Eagles.
First of all, I called it, that Cincy was going to beat the 49ers, by the way.
Oh, thanks a lot. Thank you.
I had to. I called it. I said it was going to happen. But, I look at it like this.
Joe Burrow's played a hell of a game.
They went from averaging 12 points a game to 27 points a game now. And they're 500. So, actually, they're 4-3 now. So I look at it like this with the Raiders. They got rid of McDaniel, they got rid of the GM, and they got rid of the offensive coordinator. I look, and the thing about it is, how this all came together is they had an open meeting. Anybody could talk. Coaches included, players and everything. Clearly, some people would not buying into McDaniel and everything. And out of nowhere, Mark Davis realized, hey, I gotta make a change, and I need to make a change because this isn't working. This dude said what he was gonna do didn't do it. So he fired McDaniels. He fired the offense coordinator. He fired the GM and everything. Which, okay, then he appointed linebackers coach Antonio Pierce, former NFL linebacker, as interim coach. So now I won't be surprised if the Raiders make a one down out of it. But here's the funny part. They benched Jimmy G today. They just confirmed today that they benched Jimmy G and starting a rookie.
No.
He got benched. So,
wow.
So now, now we look at it like this. The Raiders are now paying John Gruden and Josh McDaniel a combined $80 million for not coaching their team.
Damn, that's eating into the players' budget. And for some of you guys, just to refresh our memories, Gruden was involved in a sex scandal, and the Raiders organization felt like they just couldn't have any of this attention from Gruden. And then they picked up.
Gruden was involved in a race scandal.
Was it a race scandal? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, his brother was involved in a sex scandal.
Oh shoot, man! It doesn't. Wow.
So I don't know. It's crazy and everything, but like the Raiders are heading to a bad direction, and I really think that this is like the 12th coach in a while that they appointed in a short amount of time. So it's a bad front office. It's bad at all in Las Vegas for the Raiders. It's a poorly run organization. So
yeah, I hear you.
But we got an all-pro safety from the Titans, Kevin Bauer, and everything. Leads the league in active interceptions since 2016. One of the top safeties in the game, and hopefully improves our secondary going forward. Now that hopefully he starts. But I thought they were going to make another move. I thought they were going to trade for another corner because the Bears. This is what I don't get. The Chicago Bears traded away one of the high-paying guys. I'm like, okay, the Bears are sellers. They're going to sell. They're going to get ready to do a rebuild. Then out of nowhere, they traded a second-round pick to get Montez Sweat from the Commanders and everything. And I'm like, you guys rebuilding or what? You selling or buying? These moves don't make sense.
Right.
So now you got the Bills. They traded for Rasul Douglas, the quarterback. He was an Eagle. He was a Packer and everything to help with the secondary. The Jaguars got some offensive lineman help and everything, include the offensive lineman because that was an issue for them. And it seemed like when you looked at other teams that nobody else was going to make that big of a splash in the trade market. Some players rather just go and make a splash because, players are going to get cut. They're going to, and everything. And they're going to look in the free agent market, see if they can pick anybody up right now. But
well, listen, I'm ecstatic. I'll be ecstatic, Drew. Guys, I want to invite you guys to hit that like button if you already hit it, and make sure you're subscribed to the Shoe Shine. Appreciate everybody that's in here. Shout out to everybody in here. A shout out to our friend Bruce Goes Jazz Boxing and More, because today I was watching his interview. Drew, Scrappy Ramirez, the fighter on DAZN, that Golden Boy fighter who might be getting a shot against Ioka, maybe potentially a fight with Bam Rodriguez in the future. He was on Bruce's channel. It was an awesome interview. And that kid played football, was an outstanding football athlete, and he fights at 112, 115 pound division. That's incredible that he was a star football player that transferred. We've seen a lot of football players cross over into, boxing and whatnot, but somebody that small, that's just incredible that he had literally no amateur experience and crossed over as a high school football star and is now, a big fighter over at Golden Boy. So shout out to you. Back to the business of football, Drew. I'm ecstatic. Chase Young, I think, is going to make a dramatic impact on the 49ers. Him and Bosa, two former Ohio State players. I think they're going to be a great combination on the defensive end. You mentioned if he stays healthy. I know he's out of some seasons where he didn't play much at all because of injuries. I think he had a pretty serious injury, not like the one Cousins had, but wow. I think 5 sacks is pretty good for this year, man. I'm looking forward to what he's going to do after the bye week. Give him some time. I think it was a great pick. This is a team, the 49ers are gearing up to try to be a playoff team and make the playoffs. And a lot of that hinges on what happens this week with the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC West that are now in first place, 5-2 versus the 49ers 5-3.
It's crazy.
I think you was saying that the Seattle, I can't stand the Seahawks or the
I have
fan
them
base.
going to the division.
I know you do. You ain't going to be right this year. We're going to get to our picks, guys. Shout out to Paul. Paul in here always gets a lot of these upsets. He said to start off the show that Kansas City lost in a shocker. I don't know where my friend Rhonda is, big Kansas City Chiefs fan, but that was a shocker. How bad they played, Drew. And they're going up against Dolphins in an international game in Germany. That game is one to not be missed this Sunday morning.
I gotta be honest with you, Dave.
Yeah.
I think that the Chiefs are in a lot of trouble because they lead the league in drops. And their receiving core is not good. And he's not able to make a lot of throws. He's throwing picks and everything. Like, I just think the Chiefs are not as good as it was last year, even though they're a totally different team when it comes to playoffs at that time and everything. But I really don't think the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs is open season a little bit, and I'm going to be honest. I will pick Miami to win this game.
Let's go. Let's get into that pick right now. Even though I would traditionally we'd start with our Thursday night football pick, which is tomorrow. This is a fresh loss for Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is crazy. I just saw the statistic on this. After a loss, Mahomes is 14-3 after losing a game. The odds are highly in his favor statistically, man. The Chiefs are just a negative 1.5 favorite on the spread. I have to pick the Chiefs as much as I dislike the Chiefs. I have to think that they're going to come up successful against Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins. Although there's a lot of people that are very excited to see how well Tyreek Hill will play against his former team. Are you, and you think that will that be an impactful player this weekend here in Germany?
Here's the thing. The Dolphins are getting their players back on defense. They got Jalen Ramsey back. They're starting to get their secondary back together. I really think the Dolphins are going to win this game.
Man, what do you guys think in the chat? Drop that your pick for this one. Chiefs, Dolphins, 6-2. International play in Germany, Drew. Will that impact either teams going across all the way to Germany? The time zone difference. It's a very early game here.
Yeah. I can't go away from picking the Dolphins. I think the Chiefs offense is still having trouble, and I think the plan will be to force their receivers to beat you and be able to defend Kelsey well.
Speaking of Kelsey, is Taylor Swift going to make the trip? She going to go all the way to Germany to see her man play?
Probably not.
There's a lot of, wars are started over women, Drew. That's what they say. That behind every great war was a woman. I think that's the expression, right? Will she go all the way to Germany for her man? That's what I'm wondering.
Stand by your man.
There's 4 teams in the AFC that are 6-2 right now. 6-2, 4 teams. One of these teams is going to be 6-3. I think it's the Chiefs, and you're going to go with Tua, right? Pulling it off in international play. All right, let's move on then, Drew, to Tennessee Titans versus the Steelers. The Steelers are somehow from Pittsburgh. Your Pennsylvania state of Pennsylvania, are now 4-3, find themselves against Tennessee Titans 3-4. But the Titans are being led by a rookie. Can he pull this off and go 4-4, or are we looking at the Steelers 5-3? By the way, the Steelers are a -3 favorite here on the spread.
You know what? I like the way he played. And everything, it looked like that D-Hop, the old D-Hop was back because he was able to make the throws and everything. Tannehill, he's more like a guy as a game manager and everything. He's not going to make all the throws. And, since he's hurt, I think, once he got hurt, the job was going to be Will Levy's and everything. So, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm picking the Tennessee Titans to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, man. Tennessee Titans. Let's look at that spread again, just to confirm. Thursday Night Football. That's tomorrow night. What do you guys be doing after work? It's a Pittsburgh is the -3 favorite. The money lines plus 130 on Tennessee Titans. You liking the Tennessee Titans? You know what? Let's write this one down. Let's do what I said we were going to do. We got to keep score on our picks and see who did better. Got a fresh piece of paper here. Drew with the Tennessee Titans. And Dave with the Steelers. All right, that's game Thursday Night Football. All right, we already discussed Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs, and Drew has the Dolphins. You said Dolphins, right? I know my memory isn't that short term. I'm picking Kansas City on the spread there. Now let's get to Chicago. Let's get to 10 a.m. game Sunday, Seattle Seahawks, Baltimore Ravens. Some of y'all think Baltimore Ravens are one of the better team, or if not the better among the elite teams this year. Drew, the Seattle Seahawks, like I said, it's very important because my team, the 49ers, are on a bye. We're getting rest. We're getting Chase Young acclimated to the new system. This will, if the Seahawks lose, put San Francisco and Seattle back in a tie for first place while our players are getting rested against a very aggressive game that's coming up for the 49ers against my homeboy Johnny Savage's, the Jaguars. So I need Baltimore Ravens to run all over the Seattle Seahawks team. That's not bad, man. They're a good team too. But Drew, Baltimore Ravens, are they elite? They're the -6 favorite.
You know, Baltimore, they always look for a reason to lose against these bad teams and everything, like the Colts and the Steelers and everything. They got the #1 ranked defense, but they're playing against the #2 ranked defense in Seattle.
Okay. And Seattle played a very aggressive beginning of their last game this past Sunday. I thought they played exceptionally well.
Like, I'll be honest, I will actually pick the Seattle Seahawks to beat the Ravens.
Damn. Yeah, I gotta hate them because you saying the Seahawks are your team to beat the team at the top of the NFC West when this is all said and done, right? You don't think my 49ers will get past them. So Seahawks, Drew, and they're not the favorite, man. That's a +6 right there. I'm going with the Ravens. I'll take that they win by a touchdown. Ravens are a -6. And I need them to lose. Guys, all my Niners fans, my Bang Bang Niner fans, we need the Seahawks to lose. I can't let them come up like this. All right, Drew, this game doesn't have much significance to me. Chicago Bears are definitely not a favorite here. New Orleans Saints, -8.5. They easily cover that spread. Do you think they do by 2 touchdowns, a touchdown and a field goal? The over is 41.
What game is this?
Bears versus Saints.
I'm picking the Saints.
Yeah, that one's easy. I think we're finally on agreement on one, man. We both have the Saints winning over Chicago. You know, some of these, I'm not sure where they're playing, but they're starting to experience cold weather, and it's very likely we're going to start seeing snow in some of these areas like Buffalo and whatnot, affecting games like Chicago and whatnot. I don't know if you guys know where this game is being played, but Drew and I both have the Saints winning this one. All right. This one's too easy to call, Drew. I don't know if Arizona's going to win any more games this year. Arizona versus the Cleveland Browns. The 49ers just lost to the Cleveland Browns, and Cleveland Browns showed that they really are one of the top defenses in the NFL. Top 5 elite defense. Can Arizona score points against Cleveland Browns?
I'm picking the Browns to win this game. I guess Kyle Murray's coming back since they traded away Josh Dobbs and everything. But I just don't think Arizona's going to win a game. They may win one more game at most. But I'm picking the Browns.
All right, Sin City Syndicate says Kyler Murray is back this weekend, though. That might be. Will that be a factor?
I ain't gonna be shit. He still play. He ain't shit.
All right. Well, we both have Cleveland Browns covering the spread, -8. I think they're going to easily do more than 2 touchdowns. Now, this game breaks my heart for my homeboy speech, but you know what? F him too, because his team beat the 49ers. Minnesota Vikings lose their quarterback after Cousins performs incredibly well, breaking his Monday Night Football curse. It could be, at his age, is it over for Cousins? People don't just come back from Achilles tendon tears.
I think he'll be back, but I don't know if the Vikings are going to sign him or not.
Right. He may not come back as he might end up on somebody's practice squad for a while.
I don't know if he's going to be on a practice squad. I think he's going to be on a team he's a quarterback.
All right. He'll see a season in the CFL.
I don't know.
All right, my Minnesota Vikings versus Atlanta Falcons, and the Falcons are starting to play much, much better. They're the actual -4.5 favorites here. I don't know who's starting for Minnesota Vikings with this trade. Was there a trade?
It's probably going to be the rookie, but I think they're going to wind up starting Dobbs because he has starting experience next week. So
on such short notice. Now he was just acquired in the trade, right?
Yep.
Oh, man, that's like the position the Raiders are in, starting their rookie backup quarterback. I don't know. I see it very difficult for the Atlanta Falcons. Or do we both agree Atlanta Falcons wins this game?
Yeah, I think Atlanta wins.
All right, Falcons. They cover that spread, -4.5. Dave and Drew on the same one on that one. All right. Okay, now that brings us now to the Washington Commanders. I just mentioned defensive end Chase Young is coming over to the 49ers. I think he could be a star player and be a big impact on our team alongside Bosa. But they are definitely not the favorites against the New England Patriots that I think is kind of an ass team. I don't see how the Patriots are the -3 favorite here. Drew, the Washington Commanders put 31 points. I seen them force you into overtime. The Commanders, I think, are one of these scrappy boxers that ain't going nowhere.
Here's the thing about the Commanders. They're just giving up the 2 starting defensive ends in trades this week.
Right. They gave, like I said, they just gave up Chase Young, a star defensive
They're
end.
trying to get draft capital. They realize that they're on expiring contracts. They're probably not going to re-sign them. It looks like that Ron Rivera is probably going to lose his job in a couple weeks during the bye week. I think they're going to get ready to give Eric Bieniemy his job, that head coaching job. But I think the Commanders are leaning towards a complete rebuild. And I just don't see it right. Can we see them beating the Patriots? Yeah, I can still see them beating the Patriots. Like, I'll be honest, I think I would pick them. I'm picking the Commanders.
Yeah, okay, fine. We agree on that one. 2-6 Patriots against the Commanders, as scrappy as they are, even without Chase being on the team. I'm going Commanders, man. I think this is going to be an upset for the sportsbook. Commanders, both Drew and I agree on that one. Some of these games I'm not too fond about. I'm definitely not going to spend time watching them, maybe even just watch a little bit of the highlights. But these games coming up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Houston Texans. Houston Texans, the favorites by just 2.5 points. I think the Houston Texans are the better team right here. What say Drew?
I don't know. They're coming off a loss to the before 0-6 Panthers. So I don't know. Like,
you tell me the Panthers won this week?
Won last week.
They won this last weekend
against the Texans.
Wow.
So, I'm gonna be honest. I probably would pick the Texans, and then probably cover the spread. I'll take the spread too with it.
All right, -2.5 on the Texans. Man, that's interesting. I'm gonna roll with you on that one on Houston Texans. I was thinking that the Panthers wouldn't win anything and it didn't even cross my mind that they actually won this past weekend. They put themselves on the board with a win. L.A. Rams versus the Green Bay Packers, Drew. -3.5 favorite for Green Bay.
Man, I'm picking the Rams to win this. I think Green Bay's not that good, and Green Bay really is gonna probably be not good for a while.
Rams are 3-5. But I gotta tell you, I got faith that the Rams can pull this off. I don't know what it means for them. They'll just be 4-5. But we both agree the LA Rams beat this. You think so?
It keeps them in the wild card playoff spot. So 4-5 keeps them right in the mix.
All right. Well, that's my division, the NFC West. Cardinals are atrocious. They're like as bad as Carolina at 1-7. It makes things interesting if they do win. Like you said they could potentially be in there for a wild card spot. So we both agree the Rams will win this one. Indianapolis Colts versus the 1-whatever now Carolina Panthers. This one's too easy to call. Do they do it again? Do they have a chance to pull off 2 wins in a row?
No. Indianapolis takes this.
Indianapolis Colts. Hey guys, does anybody think that some of these teams could pull off an upset? I know that our friend Paul Martinez in here has been really good with some of these upset picks. I think he picked Broncos over the Chiefs too, so he keeps reminding me. But we both agree that this week Indianapolis, Dave and Drew both on that one. Hey, thanks guys. I know that probably writing the our picks here is actually slowing down my performance here on the mic, but appreciate that. All right, this one is a little bit more interesting, Drew. New York Giants versus the Las Vegas Raiders. You just told me Jimmy G got benched. They just lost their head coach. This is an awful position to be in that's ripe for the New York Giants to take advantage of.
Giants are enough though, QB too, so I'm picking the Raiders.
You are picking the Raiders. They're actually a negative 1.5 favorite. I hate to do this to my peoples, man, but I think the Giants could pull this off. But tell me again why you think the Raiders are going to win with their backup.
Did you watch the Giants game last week? They lost their backup, Tyrod Taylor. They got a rookie. They got an undrafted free agent took over, and the whole game the Jets held them to minus 15 yards passing.
Oh, shit, that's right. Now I do remember that. Well, that being said, we both agree then that the Raiders will pull this off with whoever their backup quarterback will be, whoever their coach is going to be, what former high school head coach, somebody said, will be taking place. We both agree the Raiders will pull this off. Was that them? The ones that had negative passing yards? The Giants? That's how bad they are?
Yep. They almost won the game, but it had negative 15 passing yards.
And they say the Jets quarterback is doing moderately well. What are they smoking?
God bless them.
All right, at 1:25 p.m. on Sunday, Dallas Cowboys. Friend of the show, Derek Ware. I'm sure he might be excited. Actually, where's Derek Ware? We should have him on the show to tell us his pick. Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Drew, we saw the 49ers just weeks ago just run all over Dallas. But Dallas and Prescott are a lot better than that performance, as I think the Niners are a lot better than their last 3 previous showings. I know you're going to go for the Eagles. You guys are only a -3 spread favorite. What do you think this total score is going to be? Look at the over on this game is, let's see here, 47 points for the over.
Here's the thing about this. Dallas has not beaten any teams with a winning record. Let's put it out there right now. They have not beaten any good teams. And tell you the truth, if you look at it, Dak plays better when he has a lead. When he doesn't have a lead, he sucks. And I'll be honest, the Eagles, you're not going to see that same Eagles defense like that. Because you saw them the 1 week giving up all those yards and points and everything. The next week, they were playing the Miami Dolphins. Everybody thought they were going to get torched. Eagles held them to 244 yards and held them to 17 points. So, thinking this is like the same thing.
You think your new safety will have an impact too? You think safety can come up with a pick?
We're getting Cam Jurgen back, and our one game was best when he was on the field. I'm saying this right now. The Eagles win 34-20.
34-20. That's 54
And go to
points.
8
So you would
and
take
1.
the over, and you would easily take the Philly Eagles covering the spread. I agree with you on that one. Sorry, Derek. Sorry, Dak Prescott. Yeah, I think the Eagles. Well, damn, that puts you guys at what? At
Dakota,
the week
you suck.
9? At week 9, that's going to put you guys at what? 8-1?
8-1, best team in the league.
Yeah,
No
this guy.
dispute.
All right. Philadelphia Eagles, we both agree on that one right there. Buffalo Bills. What happened to Josh Allen? He's not favored to beat the Cincinnati Bengals, and I could see that. I could see after Joe Burrow's phenomenal performance against the San Francisco 49ers, that I think Cincinnati Bengals, who were just 3-3 not too long ago, now find themselves at 4-3 with that win over the Niners. Now I'm starting to see potentially that they absolutely are a playoff team, Drew. But are they as good as people? Are they as good at 4-3? They're at the bottom of their division. How did they get to the Super Bowl? How are people still talking about? Oh, you see now the Bengals are a Super Bowl quality team.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Dave. I'm picking the Bengals to beat the Bills.
Yeah. Well, we both agree on that one. Oh man. Sorry, Bills Mafia.
5-3.
They're going to be 5-3. Actually, that puts them pretty close to the Ravens. And if the Steelers, well, I think the Steelers are going to win. I think the Browns are going to win. That puts all those teams in a three-way tie at number 2 at the AFC North division. That's crazy. That's crazy. And the Ravens will be 7-2. But the Bengals are playing hard and aggressive, and I like how they performed last week against the San Francisco 49ers. I thought they did exceptionally well. All right, LA Chargers versus the New York Jets, Drew. Everybody's saying, oh, how well the New York Jets quarterback is doing considering, what he finds himself in, replacing Aaron Rodgers like that. The Chargers are the favorite, negative 3.5, man. Chargers aren't the best of team, and the Jets kind of been playing all right.
I'm probably going to get this wrong. I'm picking the Jets.
Let's look at the Jets record here. You know what? I don't think that's too crazy. And I feel bad for saying that against everybody that support all our San Diego, anyone that watches this from San Diego region. I'm going to agree with you that the Jets take this. I've been watching them. I mean, they're not playing god-awful football, and the LA Chargers are extremely, from week to week, they just, you don't know what team's going to show up. So we both agree with the Jets on this one here.
Man, I look at it like this, Dave. If I do this on a parlay, man, I might be winning big
You
money.
should do a 10-team parlay. That's what we actually got to do for the second half of the season. Start putting up each our parlay on DraftKings here. It'll make things much more interesting here. Carolina Panthers, they've won their first game. That was a shock. Although that's Thursday, November 9th. Did we just go through all the games? Yeah, that's Monday night. LA Chargers, New York Jets. I think we just covered all the games. Wait a minute here. Monday, November 6th is LA Chargers. That's it. That is it, Drew.
Well,
we covered all our games here. We got them all here for this week. There's a lot of teams on buys that are going to be getting 2 weeks rest. Did you guys take your buy yet? Philly Eagles?
No. But we can look at it like this. What's our 5 best teams so far heading into halfway through the season? And everything, 1 to 5 and everything. So, Dave, you got a power rankings 1 to 5. Let me know. Yeah.
Chauncey asked, what can the 49ers do to recover after 3? Man, they need this bye week bad, and they need to get back. Brock Purdy needs to see a sports psychologist is what he needs to see, Drew. He reminds me of Anthony Joshua. We have our show Monday night, The Shoe Shine, where we talk about boxing. We recap the great things in the sport of boxing. And we could look at somebody like Anthony Joshua coming off his losses and how he's had to try to rebuild himself. The 49ers find himself in that position where everybody thought Brock Purdy was going to be this, exceptional Super Bowl type quarterback. And all of a sudden he's throwing picks and making mistakes and taking concussions, getting hit in the head just like all these other. And he's no exception. He's going to get hit like that. He's going to get hurt. He got hurt against the Philadelphia Eagles, unfortunately, in the playoff game. I hope to see you at the NFC Championship title game again. with a healthy Brock Purdy, but he needs to get over whatever is blocking him from making those mistakes and making the right calls, Drew. You think the bye week will help the 49ers? Plus, I said we got this new defensive end player. He's a star, in my opinion. Think it's going to help? Should I even ask you?
I don't know. But I look at it like this. Top 5 teams in the league.
Let's do it. Top 5 teams before we wrap the show up.
I'm gonna go down from
Let's
5
do power
down.
rankings, yeah.
I'm gonna do from 5 down. We're not gonna do 10, we're gonna do 5. 5 down, we're gonna do 5 down. So my number 5 team will be the Lions. One of the biggest surprises in the league so far, 6-2. My number 4 team will be the Seattle Seahawks. Number 3 will be the Ravens. My number 2 will be Jacksonville Jaguars. And my number 1 is the Eagles.
I can't believe you got the Johnny Savage Jaguars up on that. There's 4 teams in the AFC division. As you pointed out, Drew, they're 6-2. The Chiefs are not on your top 5, huh? Hating on the Chiefs. Rhonda's going to get you for that. Dolphins.
Tell you the truth. You got the Lions that beat them, and they lost to the Broncos.
All right, Sin City Syndicate drops his 5: Bengals, Eagles, Cowboys, Chiefs, and the Ravens. All right, 4 teams.
I can't have you can't have the Cowboys in the top 5. Like I'll be honest with you.
That's a strange pick.
They haven't beaten any good teams. They lost to Arizona. They got blown out by the Niners. So, like, I can't see how the Cowboys are in the top 5.
I like it. I like it, Drew. I like your list. I'm going to have the Chiefs on my list, the Ravens, hell no to the Jaguars, hell no to the Dolphins. Then I got 3 in the NFC here. Of course, I got my San Francisco 49ers. I include the Eagles and the Lions. That's my top 5 power rankings. You know what? I'm really liking starting to do this show, Drew. I wanted to say this, Drew. Today in Mexican culture is it's the day after Halloween, but it's Días de los Muertos. It's a day, Drew, where we honor in Mexican culture all our great relatives that have come before us and have passed away. And I've got my little shrine in the back. I just recently, this month, I mentioned it on the Shoe Shine. I lost one of my baby cousins, the second youngest cousin, only 22 years old, to fentanyl death. And the family's still reeling. We haven't not even had the service. He lived in California in the 805, and it was a shock. It was a complete shock. My mom lost her baby brother when he was 22. So for the family, it brings back a lot of scars. And of course, my wife lost her grandparents that raised her just 2 years back. I don't think I have any grandparents because I don't talk to my dad's side. I don't have any grandparents. So if you're out there, it's a great time today to say a prayer for your loved ones and remind yourselves of your family members that may have passed away. So that's my little tribute to Días de los Muertos. I hope everybody had a safe and beautiful Halloween, drama-free. Did you pass out any candy? In Philly, they don't pass out candy. Somebody comes to your door.
Halloween, really, Dave.
Bro, I think in Philly, it's like every major city in America. If somebody comes on knocking on your door, you're getting the baseball bat ready, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Nobody knocked on my door last night, so that's a relief.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Chauncey. We'll be back on Monday night, guys. There's some awesome boxing tonight. Actually, there was Pro Box, if you were watching that at the same time. I appreciate that. Actually, that fighter on the Pro Box main card, Drew, is a guy that I enjoy watching him fight. I saw him fight on Showtime, and he actually, I believe, knocked down Teofimo Lopez repeatedly, or there's tape of him. He was a sparring partner or sparred with Teofimo, and actually that's his claim to fame, and he was on Pro Box tonight. I wanted to see how he's doing. A young Puerto Rican fighter who could say, I think, I've seen the tape. He dropped Teofimo before, even if it was sparring. So go check that out. Go check out all the good fights on Saturday. And we'll be back next Wednesday with Tailgate Talk, Week 10. And we'll see how, we'll see how Drew and I did, who takes the lead on the second half of the season. If you have any suggestions for the show, or if you want to be a panelist and join us, we got the phone line, but we could also tap you in as a third analyst. Just hit me up at shoeshine_boxing. Don't forget to make sure you hit that like button, that you're subscribed. Drew, any final words for this football week?
Couldn't be here soon enough.
I heard that, man. Peace out, everybody. We'll see you next week. Appreciate y'all. Peace out.